And welcome back to another Wimble Train video. In this episode we're going to have a look at how I integrated the Kato Unitrack with the Peco Streamline Code 80 track on my N-scale T Trak modules. Now I filmed this video a little while ago and we'll have a look at how I did all this and how it all goes together. So we'll just head over and have a look at that video right now. What I'm doing on my triple module is I'm going to incorporate some Peco Streamline track in amongst the Kato Unitrack. Now the reason I'm doing that is because I want a crossover between the different loops of my layout. So I want the trains to be able to go across the different loops and come back again. So originally I did have the Kato number 4 turnouts, but as I said on a previous video, I've eliminated all those from my layout because locos such as this, it's a Farish class 52, well no it's not, that's a Dapol, I think that's a Dapol class 52. They don't run over these, they keep derailing for some reason. The bigger locos do. The smaller ones, the Cocos, don't run well, but the Bobos are okay. So I've gotten rid of all of my number 4 turnouts on my Kato part of the track and I replaced them with the number 6 turnouts, and the locos run over those without any issue. Now the other thing I did have over here is I do have a Kato crossover, but I find that they're a bit intermittent too, that sometimes those locos will run fine, sometimes they won't. So I'm going to replace that. Now I'll just interrupt the video there. Now these double crossovers I haven't given up completely on them yet. I might test them out a bit more and see how they go after a couple of comments on the videos from people about them. So we'll give them another go and see how the trains run over them. So we'll head back now to the video with some Peco Streamline, and I've started putting in the points and the sections of track after watching videos, because I've never installed this track ever before, so it's an experience, I can tell you. Make a few mistakes along the way. No matter how many videos you watch, or you learn as you go. So what I've done is underneath I've put 3mm cork, which was recommended in the T Trak guidelines, but I found that wasn't quite high enough, so I put another extra little bit of card underneath. It's really thin Cyril packet type card to pack it up, and that seems to be the perfect height now. And the other thing I had to do is with the points, I had to put this little section in to get the correct gap to match up with the Kato 33mm there. Now to line all this up, using my Kato gauge for the spacing, which just sits over the rails there to give you the right gap. So I'm lining it all up with that, and yeah, it seems to be working out so far. I've had to put some feeders in here because I'm using the Electrofrog points unmodified, so I've got insulating joiners there on the V, on the Frog, same on all the 4 points. So I need to, because this rail here will be isolated, I have to feed power individually to that, and that'll be the same over this side as well. So in the middle here I'll put some dropper wires on that section of track as well. The rest should be okay. I know some people put it on every piece of track. Now there's a couple of different ways we can connect our Kato Unitrack to our Peco Streamline track. Now the first option is to buy the special piece of track from Kato, which has the normal clip-on connectors at one end, then at the other end It's got your standard rail joiner, and your Peco track will just fit in there like so. You obviously take that one off and use the existing one there, and that'll just go into there. And of course you'll have to lift the Peco track up and pack it underneath to suit. But what I've done, I haven't gone down that path. I've just basically got a normal piece of Unitrack with the clip-on connectors on it, and I've just pulled the connector off one end. Now to remove them, you can just pull them off by hand, or with their when you buy the power connectors, you get one of these little tools with it, which just slips over the top and comes off. Pretty easy. And then yeah, so then the Peco track will just go straight onto that. Of course, once you've set it both to the right height, so it'll just come together like that very nicely. So I've changed my mind now. I've decided to modify my Electrofrog points. Now basically there's lots of good videos out on YouTube on it. Dean Park has a very good one explaining how the Electrofrog works and how to modify it, all different mods you can do. But basically we'll cut this wire here that goes to the frog, that goes to the two blades, so that then these two will be isolated from the frog. So we cut those off, pull those up, and then what we have to do is cut some of the plastic off the back here, and then just run a wire from the outer rail to this rail, and the outer rail on this side to that one, so that they have permanently bolts on them, permanent connection between there and there. And then we'll just have a frog switch to select the polarity we need for the frog. So basically a modified one will look like this. So that's the wires I've cut off, and I've soldered a wire so I can feed that through the baseboard for the frog polarity. So that frog is totally independent of these now. And so these rails and these blades are permanently powered. It's not dependent on this switch and how clean your points are in between the blade and the track. So that eliminates any connection problems there. So pretty straightforward to do. There's the cuts off some plastic back, and I've just run a couple of small wires across there. Take your time, it's pretty simple. So there we have it, the use of Kato Unitrack with Peco Streamline. Just give you one last look at it. It's all been tested, all working fine, and the Peco track's been ballasted as well, as you can see there. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below there, and we'll see you next time on Wimble Train.